Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Dragon Breed, and this was created by Irem in 1989. And this is actually a really interesting shoot 'em up, vertically or a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up, and this was suggested by YouTube user Paul Contreras. I'd never seen or heard of this game, but like I said, it's really interesting. You are this guy that rides on a dragon, and the dragon is completely invincible, but the guy can be killed by a shot or by touching an enemy. But the dragon is totally invincible, and you can wind the dragon around by moving left or right or up or down to make its tail swing around, and you can make the tail protect you. And you can pick up various power-ups. And the dragon can shoot with its tail if you get certain power-ups. Or it can breathe fire out of its mouth, and the fire can grow longer and longer with various power-ups. There will be times... See, he got killed. He got touched, the guy. There will be times when there is land, and you can jump off of your dragon and pick up power-ups for your guy. So both the guy and the dragon can have weapon power-ups. And you move the tail around by pushing left, right, up, down, and the tail will snake out in the opposite direction of the direction that you push with the controller. There are some very nice power-ups. I like that one, where the dragon's tail shoots downward. But yeah, you just gotta protect your guy with the dragon's tail. Again, the dragon is completely invincible. This is just a great idea. It is really a shame it wasn't more popular in the US. But this is just a cool game. Now, whenever you do decide to jump off onto land, when there's land present, whenever you are ready to get back on the dragon, you press down. And the dragon will come down to you, and then you just jump up onto his head that you can. But when you are on land, your guy can fall off the edge and die. So don't let that happen. Those little flying guys, we saw one just a second ago, they will give you power-ups. Some other guys will give you power-ups, and sometimes there will already be power-ups present, like on land there. And I'm going to have my guy jump off in just a sec. You can actually stay here for a while and just collect some points. And I think at this point I wasn't sure how I get the dragon to come down to me. But you just press down and he will come down to you. You do have a time limit to reach the boss and kill him, and if you run out of time, I think you lose a life. There are definitely moments that resemble R-Type. There'll be like giant ships and stuff that you fly around with various cannons taking pot shots at you. But yeah, you just have to protect your guy at all costs. I think that is so cool, though, that the dragon cannot be killed. So you need to learn to move the tail around to protect your guy. And I think your guy is supposed to be like a king or something. Yeah, there's a story to it, and you'll see it during like the epilogue after you beat the game. Yeah, that little flying guy, he'll drop weapon ups. Ah, crap. Yeah, there can be enemies attacking from above, so don't get too comfortable flying way up high. Note that the screen does scroll around as you move up and down, so there can be enemies below or above that you don't see that you can suddenly run into. It helps to remember the layout of the levels. And it is kind of nice to get a bit of a breather by jumping off on land. The dragon does its best to protect you, so you can collect some points hanging out here for a little while before you decide to press down and have the dragon come back down to you, so you can jump on his head and fly off. It's kind of nice, the dragon shooting these homing missiles. Homing missiles are always nice to have as a power-up in a video game. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Hope you did something fun. I went to see the movie It. I liked it. It was pretty good. Wasn't exactly like the Stephen King novel by any means. There were a number of things that were different about it, but it was still very good. Looking forward to when the second part is going to come out. Here is the first boss. You can't really kill him here. He will pop out. This guy is easy to deal with, really. You can... oops, I was clumsy. I ran into the ship there. But what you need to do is you need to use your dragon's fire breath on him. And you need to block any missiles that he shoots with the dragon tail. And then once you kill him, then you have to deal with the ship. And the ship can be difficult. There are a total of 6 initial levels. Then, you beat the game. And then you go through again. And the levels are the same. Maybe there was a little bit of increased difficulty, but they go to, they call it level 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even though they're the same levels. Yeah, just get in this guy's face and blast him with the fire breath, but move up and down to take out the missiles that he shoots. And now here's the ship that's turned into this whatever it is. And just keep on the fire breath. The fire breath will block his projectiles, but you have to move around to block all the other things that he fires at you with the dragon tail. And maybe move up and down to take out the things he fires with the dragon breath. Just keep it up. The boss fights can be kind of tough at times. You just have to protect your guy at all costs. Move that dragon tail around to protect him. It's a very cool dynamic in the gameplay. I really like it. Like I said, there's 6 stages. Now you have to keep these creatures from dropping down above onto your guy. It definitely has an R-type feel to it. And then there's this full wall of these guys. Just learn to use that tail to your advantage. And you move forward and the tail is going to stretch backwards. Move backward and the tail is going to flip in front of you. Just kind of got to get a feel for the way the tail moves. And yeah, notice that the dragon's tail will hurt enemies, and you can kind of trap the enemies against the back of the screen and kill them that way. It's so cool that the dragon is invincible. Just have to learn to protect the rider. Those tentacle things will slow you down as you try to move through them. Just a really cool game. Just kind of a shame it didn't get more notice in the US. I'd normally be listening or watching football at this time, but it's halftime for my team's game, and they're not doing so well, so I'm just gonna do this review here. Here's the second boss. This one can be kind of hard. You need to watch out for those things it's firing from its head and not get hit by them. And you need to take out the eye right there that's behind the claw. And once you destroy that eye, there's another eye below, so you have to scroll downwards and take out the other eye. Just die already. Or I want that first eye to be destroyed. There we go. Now, I wasn't sure what to do here, but you do have to scroll downwards to take out that other eye. And I got shot. Well, I neglected to continue here so I could put in my initials, but we will see at least snippets of the rest of the game. You get to put in a lot of initials here. Get to put in my full first name. This is Dragon Breed by Irem in 1989. Very cool idea for a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up. But yeah, let's beat this guy real quick. Now we move on to stage 3. And you get a bonus at the end of the level for how much time you had left, which isn't going to be that huge of a bonus. I think they should give you an extra bonus for just beating the boss. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of different weapon ups that you can get for your dragon. But it can like shoot homing missiles, it can fire shots from its body. But yeah, it has a very strong R-type feel to it. We'll scoot forward and see later parts of this level coming up to the boss. There's going to be a bunch of dragons attacking you. You shoot them and their body parts scatter. And then here is the boss. Shoot its mouth as much as you can. There is a charged shot you can fire. And you just hold down the fire button and release. Once you destroy that, then you have to destroy a dragon. I've got invincibility by this point. I just decided to put it on so I could beat the game faster, but I just wanted to show you snippets of each level and show you the bosses. And that is the end of stage 3. Now we're going to go on to stage 4. I am just getting over this nasty cold I had all week. Still a bit sniffly, but a lot better than I was. Might want to take some Dayquil just to be sure I'm alright. But yeah, when you get on land, you want to press down to have the dragon come back down to you. It took me a while to figure out how to do that. And beware of when you scroll up and down on the screen, beware that, or be wary that enemies can come down from the way top or way bottom of the screen, and you can accidentally run into them really easy. At all costs, protect the rider. That dragon is completely invincibility. is completely invincible, which is cool. I like these. I like this boss here. It's 2 spider type creatures, and they'll move all around on the walls, and they'll jump and they'll shoot these little fireballs. You have to destroy them both. This is just a really cool concept. They really they took the scrolling shoot 'em up and just kind of added huge new wrinkles to it. It's really a great idea. And only 2 more stages to go. And like I said, once you beat stage 6, then the game just repeats, and it calls the next level stage 7, you know, and on up to 12, and then your game ends. Weird stone heads that attack you. And then later on, those gray things, they can grab onto your dragon and slow you down, and you wiggle the joystick to shake out of it. And that little guy that's shooting lasers is actually the boss. When you destroy him, he becomes larger forms. Just keep winding around him and shooting when you can. Just a great concept, and now this is his final form, I believe. Ugly guy. Big skull with a mouth on his head. Yeah, really, the charged shot isn't super effective. It can help against the bosses for sure. Its effectiveness might differ depending on which power-up you have. And now this is the final stage here. The final boss of this stage is like encased in a glass wall or something, and you can't destroy it. But it has this eye that floats around and follows you, and you can destroy the eye. And once you destroy the eye, the boss is dead. And the eye will sometimes go back behind the glass, but it'll re-emerge. See, I destroyed the eye, so the boss dies too. And at the end of this level, the dragon sacrifices itself. You float off in this bubble, and the dragon kills the boss. And then there's the epilogue. That was Dragon Breed by Irem in 1989. Very cool idea for a scrolling shoot 'em up. Just do all you can to protect the rider. Just whip that dragon tail around so it blocks the shots. You can pin the bad guys against the edges of the screen and destroy them. You can hurt them with the tail. Very, very cool. And again, some of the boss fights are really, really challenging. It's a lot harder to protect the rider than you might think. And there's the rider, safe, while his dragon friend sacrificed himself. The end. See you later. Not much later, it starts back over, and it starts all the levels over, but renames it Stage 7 to Stage 12. But again, when you put your guy on land, your rider, you can die by falling off the edge. So don't Don't do that. And you can still be shot, but the dragon's going to do its best to protect you quite a bit. And just press down to get the dragon to give you a lift again. See, you can just fall right off. But, yeah, you just beat the game again on stage 12. And then that'll be game over. You'll get the same epilogue sequence, but then you just put in your initials again, and then your game is over. And you get a bonus. Your score is doubled, which is pretty cool. But that is Dragon Breed by Irem in 1989. Very cool game. Unfortunately, not seen much by U.S. gamers. What is this Crazy Climber 80 saying? Thanks for watching Dragon Breed by Irem in 1989. This was suggested by YouTube user Paul Contreras. Y'all have a good one, and I will catch you later in the future with another video. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.